Hello and welcome to another video brought to you by RouTube. In this video, I will be exploring the different ways in which we can find the median value in a dataset. This skill gets introduced to students in early secondary school and they will continue to develop their understanding on the median up until Year 12 further maths. Alright, so just having a look at the learning objectives for the video, obviously all centered around finding the median. The first objective is to find the median from raw data. The second objective is to find the median using the CAS calculator. The third objective is to find the median from a dot plot, and the fourth and final learning objective is to find the median from a stem plot. Okay, so let's have a look at what the median is and how we find it. So the median is the middle value in an ordered data set. Now you will see that ordered it's been italicized, and there's a reason for that. If you don't order your data set, you will not be able to find your median. It's as simple as that. So you need to make sure you order your data set first. Generally, we do it in ascending order, so lowest value or minimum value to maximum value. And then we should be able to go and find the median. Now for n data values, so a number of data values, the median can be located at the n+1/2 position. All right, so it's really important that that n+1/2, that tells you where the median is, not what the median is. Okay, so that is almost an indication of how to find the median or where to find the median, but it's not telling you what the median is. That's really important, and I can't stress that more highly. Because often students make mistakes when they use that n+1/2, they find the value and they say that that's the median, okay? But that tells you where the median is, not what the median is. Now, when n is odd, so when the number of data values in your data set is odd, the median will be the middle data value in the data set. When n is even, the median will be the average of the two middle data values in the data set. And we'll have a look at a few of those examples in a second. All right, let's have a look at finding the median from raw data with an odd number of data values. So find the median of the following data set. All right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values, which is clearly odd. Okay, the first thing we need to do, as always, is to order the values in ascending order. All right, now that we have done that, and you'll see I have put the little lines through each value when I rewrite them, just to make sure that we don't forget any values, or we don't miss any, or we don't double up on any value. Okay, so now that we have ordered the values, now you may have learned something earlier in your secondary schooling about, crossing from the left, crossing from the right, and so on. Now we're not going to do that because it doesn't really work when you've got sort of large data sets. It would work for a question like this, but we're sort of gearing up to sort of using that n+1/2 formula to work out our median. So that's the way we're going to go. But if you're sort of crossing from the left and crossing from the right, it'll still work, but we're not sort of going to focus on it in this video. So remember, to find the median, we need to use n+1/2, and that's going to tell us where the median is, not what the median is. Okay, so let's actually use that formula and try and find out, first of all, where the median is, and then work out what the median value is. Okay, so n in this case, remember, n is always the number of data values in your data set. Okay, well, we counted those before and that was 9. So it just means we've got 9 numbers in the data set. Okay, so n is going to be 9. Okay, so then 9 + 1/2. And now we can use that formula to work out where the median is. So now we've got 10/2. So the median, 10/2 value. So then the median is the 5th value. Okay, now remember, like we can see, that's telling us where the median is, not what the median is. Okay, so now we go back to our data values and we say, well, that's the first value, second value, third value, fourth value, and 5th value. So that's the position of our median. So therefore, we can clearly say that our median value is 4. So like I said in the intro to the video, a lot of people would stop and say, well, the median's 5 because it's at the 5th value. Okay, well, that's incorrect. Remember, that formula tells you where the median is, not what the median is. So you go and you find the position of the median, you go to that value, and then you record that value once you have the values in in order once you have the values in order. So the median of this data set is 4. Okay, now let's do the same thing, but this time find the median from raw data with an even number of data values. So find the median of the following data set. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data values. Okay, so there's an extra step when we have an even number of data values. So as always, and like we did before, let's reorder the values in ascending order. Okay, so now we have ordered the values in ascending order. Now we can once again use the formula to tell us where the median is. So once again, n plus 1 over 2, that's where the median is. Now let's substitute the value of n into our formula. So we know that n was 9 in the previous question, but this one is going to be 10 because there are 10 data values in this data set. So now it's going to be 10 plus 1 over 2. That's the position of the median. And then now we have median is equal to 11 over 2. And if you need to use a calculator, don't be shy to do that. So it's the 5.5 value. Well, that doesn't really make much sense. Okay, so this is what I was saying before in the first part of the video. When you have an even number of data values in your data set, it's going to be in between two values. Okay, so we need to now, well, 5.5 is right between the 5th and the 6th. So we need to now go to the 5th and the 6th value in the data set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those two values there, we need to work out the value that's right in between those two. Okay, and the way we do that, I'll do it over here on the right, is we add both of those together and then we divide by the number of values that there is, which is 2. So 4 equals 4.5. Okay, so that means we can come back down here and we can say the median in this data set is 4.5. Now remember, once again, that 5.5 tells you where the median is, and then we go to that value, and if it's between two values, we do what we just did on the right hand side to work out that our median for this data set should be 4.5 or 4.5. Okay, now let's have a go at finding the median on the CAS calculator. So find the median of the following data set, and we've been given our raw data values. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to open up our lists and spreadsheets, what looks like Microsoft Excel, so this green little icon here. We always need to ensure whenever you're putting in our values in lists and spreadsheets, you always need to give them a column name. Okay, so this one I'll just call X, doesn't matter what you call it. And then now, as we just spoke about, you need to make sure that the values are always in order. But when you're putting them in the CAS is really smart and the CAS can order it for you. Okay, so when we're putting into the CAS, you don't actually need to put them in order because, like I said, the CAS can rearrange them when calculating the median. Okay, or when finding the median. So as you'll see there, I've just inputted all the values in, not in any order, just in the order that we're given in the question, because like I said, the CAS can sort of work that out for us. Once we've done that, then we need to perform what's called a statistical calculation, and that'll show us, or that'll find the median for us. So the way we do that is we hit menu, option number 4, statistics, number 1, stat calculation, and we're just looking at one variable, stats here. So press on option number 1. The number of lists is always going to be 1. And then in this top little box, there's a little drop down. So if you just press on the arrow here, there's drop down, and there is the name that you called that column where you inputted all your information. Okay, I called it X, so mine is X. Now remember, if you don't give your column a name, you won't be able to select anything here. So then you won't be able to do the last step, which is to actually perform your stat calculation. So then once we hit X, then we can hit OK, and we see all this sort of crazy stuff comes up on the side. And in another video, I will show you what all of these values mean. But for this specific question, all we are looking for is the median, which is here labeled as median X, and there's our value of 4. So the median value in this data set is 4. All right, now let's have a go at finding the median from a dot plot. So determine the median score and mark its location on the dot below. So let's have a look. Now we have the score on the x-axis and we've obviously got the dots, which is representing the dot plot. So we don't need to order the values because they're already ordered for us. Okay, so we can go straight to the second step, which is just to find out where the median is. Okay, so we've now got median is equal to the n plus 1 over 2 value. Okay, now let's count how many actual values we have in the data set. Okay, well, the first one, we've got 4, then we've got 4, then we've got 2, then we've got 2, then we've got 5, then we've got 3 dots, then we've got 2 dots. Okay, so we add all those together. So 4 and 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17, 17 plus 3 is 20, 20 plus 2 gives us 22. So n should be 22. So 22 plus 1 over 2, that's the position of the median, the 22 plus 1 over 2 value. Okay, so now we can once again, this becomes 23 over 2. And then just like our previous example, this is going to be between two values because we have an even number of data values. So it should be 11.5. So it's the 11.5 value. Okay, so now let's count our values and find the 11th and the 12th value. So I'm just going to cross them off on the dot plot. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we've got 11 and 12. Well, 11 and 12 are both of those values that I've just circled. Okay, so they're both 4. So clearly there's no value between 4 and 4. So we know that the median should be 4, okay? But let's just double check it anyway, okay? So we're going to take those two values. I'll do it here on the left-hand side. We're going to add the two values together, divide by 2 because there are two values, which then gives us 8 over 2, which then gives us 4. Okay, so we were correct. So the median in this data set from the dot plot should be 4. And the final part for today is to find the median from a stem and leaf plot. So the stem plot below displays the results from a Year 9 maths test in percentages. Okay, so we've got our stems and we've got our leaves, and our job is to determine the median. Okay, so now once again, just like the dot plot, we don't need to order the values because they're already in order. Now, if you're not sure how to read a stem plot, I have created a video on sort of constructing and actually interpreting the values in a stem plot. So please feel free to go and watch that video before you have a go at this, if you like. Okay, so we can go straight ahead to finding the position of the median, just like we did for the dot plot question. So we've got m equals n plus 1 over 2. That's the value of where the median is, not what the median is. So now, once again, let's work out how many data values we have. Now, sometimes you're told in the question how many students or how many data values there are, but if not, we can just count them. Okay, so we've got, let me just highlight. So we've got 3 and then 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. And then 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 4 is 17. 17 and 2 makes 19. And then 19 and 5 makes 24. So once again, we're going to have a situation where we have an even number of data values. So we've now got 24 plus 1 over 2. So that's where the median is, not what the median is. Okay, I'm struggling writing the word value for some reason. There we are. Okay, so now I might rub out the yellow so we can see a little bit easier. Okay, so let's have a look now. Let's work out where the median is. So it's 25 over 2. Now, if you need a calculator to help you, as I said before, please do so. So that should be 12.5. Okay, so let's now count. I'm going to cross them off until we get to the 12th value and the 13th value. So there's our first value, second value, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Okay, now it's really important to remember from a stem plot, that value does not represent 6 and the other value does not represent 9. Okay, we need to use the stem. The stem is 6 and then the first value in the leaf is 6, so therefore it represents 66. And then the stem is 6 and then the next value is 9 to represent 69. Okay, so the two values we have are 66 and 69, and then we add those together and divide by 2, which will then give us 135 divided by 2, which then gives us 67.5. So that should be our median value, is 67.5. And because we know in this question we're talking about percentages, we can be confident that the median value is 67.5%. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching another video brought to you by RouTube. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be sure to catch you next video.